So you've seen a lot of projects that look great on paper, but maybe fail in the pre-construction phase. So what is the difference between a project that gets stopped in the early stages of development and one that actually makes it to breaking ground?
Um, so we take projects through from feasibility, through design and planning, through pre-construction, and then into the build phase. The key is really at feasibility stage to get a good understanding of what it is you're going to build before you start the process. The key in that feasibility phase is to get enough figures to demonstrate that what you're doing and the market availability, it's almost like a business plan, preparing your business plan before you start your project. When we move through the project in the design, then we highlight more design risks or more other risks that will pop out because we're designing in a certain way, certain things come out. Pre-construction, I see as the most valuable part of any project because that is where you're doing your detailed design, you're doing your commercial agreements, you're setting out your capital spend, you're setting out your budgets, and you're really doing your early stage process safety assessments as well, and you're appointing your contractors. Now, if you get that pre-construction phase right, there should be no reason why you can't move towards an investment and build out stage. But that pre-construction phase often fails because it's an expensive part of the process. Investors are becoming much more able to invest in the pre-construction now than what they used to. They used to want everything signed up in contracts before we moved into the build stage. However, now we're seeing more investors taking a view that the pre-construction phase actually is quite valuable in reducing the risk as opposed to it being a risk part and therefore they don't want to invest in risk. It's actually a process of reducing risk because you are going through all of those phases, all of those bits that I've just outlined in order to ensure that when you come to build the project, everything has been thought through the pre-construction and all of your risks have been mitigated. So realistically, you're wanting your investor to be able to comfortable with their feasibility approach and with the planning design all the way through that process. So that's front end is where you need your comfort levels that the project is feasible. And when you're in pre-construction, that it's a risk reduction process and not it's a risk. If I invest at this stage, it's actually not. It's actually a value add to any investor coming in that the pre-construction phase reduces risk. It is not a risk. That's the way I look at those different phases.